brought
I need
my
you to walk over there and walk this way on how you walked into the studio
oh
because you need to see exactly the type of energy that this girl has. Please show us how you walked in. It was
okay.
lovely.
Yeah. All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Mystic and the Messenger podcast, episode one. My name is Heather,
I'm Liz.
and we are two friends who decided to start this podcast. Basically, this is for you if you are navigating your spiritual practice while you live in the modern world, right? Maybe you have a job, you have just all the things that we have to deal with in this world. And this podcast kind of just blends those two things together. So, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and introduce ourselves. So, Liz, tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, who are you in the quote unquote matrix, and who are you really?
Awesome. So, hi, my name is Liz, given name Lisette, but most people know me by Liz. I actually am starting my own tea business, so small business owner, which sounds crazy to say because I've been working on it for a few years now. I'm also in corporate half time, so still having to deal with the 9 to 5 job here and there every day in my life. Also, I am 37 years old. I am single, and I have no children as of right now. I love to hang around with my friends. My day to day, I go to the gym. I am stuck in traffic like everybody else. My life is pretty is slowed down for the last few years just because I am now single, 37, and I kind of don't go out as much. If I say I'm going to be out, I'm going to be hiking or being outside. So that's pretty much right now my business, my 9 to 5, my family, my friends. That's usually how it goes. And the gym, like I said, that's usually how my Monday through Friday goes. So, who am I really? And in my all spirituality as I see it, for me, I am a dreamer. I love to meditate and be connected to the earth. Like I said, I love to go hike, but for me, hiking is not like an exercise like a lot of you. I go and sit and connect with the earth. I receive a lot of messages in my dreams, and I actually have learned to love and adapt that to my life because when I was younger, and we'll get that into that in another time, I used to have to block it or it wasn't part of me. Also, everything I do with my business, with my tea business, I am focusing on my ancestral path. So that is one of my biggest things that I'm focusing on right now. And I just, I'm the mystic, by the way, in this whole thing. Um, yes, I feel energy. I love to connect with people and hold space for people to be able to for them to find who they are. So I think I'm also a teacher. I've never said that out loud. I'm a teacher. Just again, I love to hold space. So you're teaching yourself. I'm just the one that holds the
She's
space.
an amazing yoga teacher.
I also am a Kundalini and yoga teacher, and I'm holding woman circles. So that is me as of right now in a little nutshell. So thank you for being here. I'm very excited. Heather, tell us about you.
Okay, so who I am in the quote unquote matrix, my normal person life is I work a 9 to 5 at a large corporation. I'm actually in sales, believe it or not. I also love to work out. I have been a Pure Barre enthusiast for the last 7 years. I started um, just being the most unathletic person ever. I only started going to Pure Barre because my physical therapist told me that I had to keep working out, and it was like dance. So I was like, okay. And then I fell in love with it, ended up teaching classes, ended up managing a studio. And I no longer do that, but I still take the classes. And I believe, kind of like similar to Liz with hiking, like I working out is spiritual for me. And again, we'll get into that in a later episode and kind of see how these things kind of mesh together, if you will. But I also love to hang out with my friends. I have an amazing group of friends who I just absolutely love. I'm also a karaoke
You
karaoke
you
enthusiast.
are.
I can't stop. I'm addicted. It's like an extreme sport for me, no, really. Yeah, and I guess who I am in like my spiritual life is like my main thing is like I'm an astrologer. Like I study astrology obsessively. Like even like if I'm not actively talking about astrology, I am thinking about astrology and I'm noticing all the patterns. Like Liz is talking and I'm like, oh my God, that's Pisces, that's this placement, and oh my God, and that's this transit happening. And like that's just how my brain works.
She's a messenger.
I'm the messenger, by the way. I'm a Gemini, and she's a Pisces, so it's pretty perfect.
Yeah.
The mystic and the messenger, but yeah, and I also too love to connect with nature. Like I will go up to Sedona frequently and just sit and just like connect, just to kind of detox because we do live in a very crazy hectic world. I do yoga, I do meditation. I will do rituals every now and again to connect with like the moon and things like that. And it's just a huge part of my life. And what's really beautiful about really the past year or so is being able to kind of like bridge those two worlds together. Like, it used to be I would go to my corporate job. I was a teacher, like a public school music teacher for years and years and years. And I feel like I would be one person there and then have like my secret identity and pull out my tarot cards on my
Yes.
bed at night. But now I really feel like those two things have started to merge, even though I do work like a corporate job. And that's kind of the whole point of this podcast. It's for the people who are kind of doing both and navigating both, and we're gonna talk about it. So yeah,
And also the people that are interested that have no idea how to maybe balance both, or that have gone, because every we'll talk about it, but I believe that when you start your spiritual path, you kind of go to the extreme, and then or you're like against it and you stay on the other extreme. And I think we have now begin to find a balance, like Heather is saying, with both. So it's kind of that sweet spot. And we want to just share what we have learned and what we're still are constantly learning and trying to see. And we want to hear from you on like what you're doing, how you're managing, so we can just put it out there for
put it out
people.
there.
Like it's such a lonely path and such a scary path that we think we're alone, and then we talk and you're like, oh my gosh, I am not alone. So that is kind of why we're here, and we're really excited.
Very excited. Welcome. Okay, so yeah, Liz, you started your tea business. You're working this part time. You have all these amazing spiritual practices. Have you always been spiritual, or how did you start?
So my life has always been spiritual because of my grandma and my mother. However, it was a different type of spirituality, right? Both sides of my family are very religious.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up Catholic. So it was kind of very devoted, right? Like the rosary, which I never learned, the church on Sundays, right? So it was always that kind of spirituality. And I say spirituality because it's the way my mom used to pray and my grandma used to pray over us and give us a blessing every time we would go somewhere, right? But my dreams were always there. My being around people and being like, "Mm, something's off," or I really like that person. Animals always coming up to me, always feeling that kind of comfort, but
Mm-hmm.
I never kind of pinpointed what it was,
Yeah.
right? Have I always been spiritual? Yes. Have I always practiced the way I practice now? Absolutely not. I think my life had to crumble like I
Mm-hmm.
knew it,
Yep.
right? In order for me to be here. So many things happen, toxic relationships, my parents getting divorced, going to college and then realizing what am I doing? But now I have to finish because the what is it called? The like goals that or the what is that
Like the
called? The
expectations.
expectations that your first generation college student has, your family has on you is crazy, right? And we'll talk a little bit about that. I come from, was born in Mexico, raised till I was 8 years old, and then moved to Arizona. So having to adapt that too, I felt like I was taken away from
Yep.
my roots. So it
Yep.
was kind of like trying to fit in, right? Never fit in, but always looking for that kind of like group of people. Then I went through a really bad breakup
Mm-hmm.
and started yoga. I started yoga. I went to a teacher training yoga school class, but it was for me. I didn't want to teach. I never thought I was going to be a teacher. I just wanted to do it for me, right? And then that led me to one thing and to another and another course and another. Felt very lonely. My friends have, I am very blessed to have the same friends that I've had since high school. Um, because they've always been super supportive, but also it has I felt alone because I felt like no one understood what I was going through, right? Like they were there, they were being supportive, like they knew how to be supportive, same as my mother and my grandma, and you'll hear me talk a lot about them. Um, but they didn't know what was going on, right? So eventually I got placed. Life has a beautiful and funny way
Funny
of
way.
putting you in places, in rooms with people that are in the same path as you, even if it's a completely different life. So that's how I'm here. Now I can say that now I am not scared of my magic.
Woo.
I'm not scared of my light. And I am definitely humbled and blessed and grateful to be where I'm at today, to be able to share the little knowledge that I have with everyone. So, this is how I got here.
Woo.
Heather, how did you get here?
Yeah. So kind of going back to just like the spiritual upbringing. My parents, I mean, we went to like a Lutheran church when
Mhm.
I was a kid, I guess, but we didn't really go every Sunday. We didn't really take it seriously
Mhm.
or talk about God outside of church at all. And I don't know, my kind of a running theme throughout my whole life is like not feeling like I fit in anywhere, always kind of feeling like the oddball out. And of course, kind of being the oddball in my family, I gravitated toward like the spiritual end of things, like God. And I've gone from being very extremely evangelical, like strict, to being, now I do like all my crystals and my astrology. Like I have really run the gamut and explored a lot of different types of spirituality. And um I'm a firm believer in the fact that there isn't any one right path. I think different things fit for different times in your life. Like I think that there were times where I needed to learn from like a Baptist pastor. And then they're like
Absolutely.
right now, what I'm learning right now, like it all depends on where you are. And I tend to kind of, like Liz was saying, I would lean more heavily into that during like major times of crisis. Like I went to college right after I was recovering from an eating disorder, and I like didn't know which way was up, or am I going to make friends? And so I just like went to church. I was like belonged to like 5 different like religious groups on campus, because I was like, there must be good people here. And then I learned things, and then I would kind of drop off, like live my life, and then spirituality would find me again, but in a different way, and then it would drop off, and then it would find me in a different way. Really, for me, it's every 7 years, for whatever reason. And I haven't been able to track it astrologically yet, which is weird, but it's been every 7 years. Like every 7 years, I have like a different spiritual awakening, I guess you could say.
Interesting.
And then I kind of drop off, and then I find it again.
Mm-hmm.
But ever since 2020 is kind of when I started, like I dropped, like I kind of moved away from like the Christianity side of things and started experimenting more with like what I'm into now. And I haven't had like that dip where I just like go back fully into the matrix, quote unquote, so to speak. Like I've pretty much kept consistently growing since then, which is interesting.
Heather, tell these lovely people how we came to be.
How we came to be.
How did we cross paths? First of all, what year was it? Because mind you, listen, this is one of the biggest things with me. Timelines for me are non-existent. Like I have no sense of like it could have been yesterday, it could have been 3 years, it could have been when I was 5. I don't remember timelines. This girl remembers dates, times, stamps, like she stamps it, right? So I remember feelings, I remember energy, I remember that kind of thing. But this girl will tell you exactly where you were on that day and what you were wearing.
It was November 9th, 2023.
Girl,
at 9 o'clock a.m. at my first Kundalini yoga class. I was wearing dark brown Lululemon leggings and a Mars Clay aloe cute little sports bra. And I was with my other friend, whose name is also Heather, just, coincidentally. And basically, I had just gotten divorced, like, um, like 4 months ago at that point, in May. So like 5 months ago, actually. And it was the kind of marriage where I really had to stifle my spirituality. Like I really couldn't talk about it. I was getting to all this really cool stuff, and like, you know, he thought I was crazy and all this stuff. And so I had these like 5 months now on my own, getting to fully explore this new version of myself. And I was introduced by a friend to Kundalini Yoga. She's like, I think it'll be really good for you. And I was still healing and all this stuff. So
was that your friend Heather who
No,
introduced you?
It was a different person.
Oh, okay.
Actually, she was a client at the bar studio I taught at, and then she recommended the Kundalini class to me. And so I was like, yeah, I want to check it out. So I went, and being the group fitness girly that I was, I wanted to like be prepared, and I like brought.
I need you to walk over there and walk this way on how you walked into the studio.
Oh.
Because you need to see exactly the type of energy that this girl has. Please show us how you walked in. It was lovely.
Let me see if I can recreate this. Oh my gosh. Okay. Hi. So my name is Heather. I do Pure Barre, and I brought socks just in case. Do we need socks in this class?
This was actually what happened. This happened, guys.
Pretty much verbatim. And our teacher, who is now like one of like our really, really good friends, she looks at me like I have 5 heads, and she's like, you have nerve endings on the bottoms of your feet. I recommend you leave those in the cubby. And also, we typically wear white. And I'm like, okay, and like my like Lulu and aloe set that's like dark brown and red, and I just like go sit down in the corner, and then I see Miss Liz in her cute little like sweatsuit and hoodie, like bundled up in a ball, like looking like she didn't like want to talk to anyone. And I was like, oh God, okay.
She's like, where did I walk into? Mind you, we're really nice people,
Really nice.
but we take, and at that time we took, and till this day we take, our class very serious, right? And we learned to understand that, not that like we don't accept like strangers coming in and be like, hey, because we all walk in that way, except I didn't walk in that way in my first class. I was like, please don't nobody talk to me. I was in the corner, like same way,
Yeah.
same way.
Yeah.
But that's how she walked in, and I literally looked at her like hoodie on. My hoodie was on. I was sitting there, and I just looked up like, okay, we're in for a treat. Because mind you, I had been to a few classes already. I was sitting in the back. She went straight. Were you in the front? Or wait, yeah, she had all the good attitude, right? In my mind, because I was going through stuff, right? I was like, ew, like why is she so loud? Why is she so like, but and I wasn't hating on her. I was so upset that I couldn't be like that, right? Like that I couldn't just be like, oh my God, hi guys. No, like I just wanted to be like, please don't talk to me. Don't look at me. I don't want to be seen. Right. So that was my first impression of her. Like, this girl, like she really out here thinking like she all cute, and which she is, right? But it was like she was mirroring me so bad at that time that I was just like, ew, I don't want to be here. But it was a great class overall. But that's how we met. That's how
we met.
And then I used to work at the Kava next door. Same owner, same community, which the community itself is like amazing, right? Is what do they call it? The land of
like misfit toys.
Misfit toys, because we all are there working on ourselves, right? And if you're not working on yourself, you just kind of like, and then you just go somewhere else, which is totally okay as well. But I used to be behind the bar. I eventually,
she was the manager.
Eventually, I was working at the bar, right? Because when you met me, I was still at corporate. I was still being in sales. I believe so. I don't know timelines. I'm telling you, my life was bleh. But eventually I ended up behind the bar, and it was just kind of like every time she would walk in, um she's so full of energy every time, right? So even if you're having like a blah day, she comes in and she's so full of energy and so full of like, I don't think I've ever, and this is like honest, I don't think I've ever seen one day where you've been upset or sad or just quiet or just like, even on your worst days, even when you're like, today was a bad day, you still find like a way to like turn it around, which is amazing. And now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, damn, no, I've never seen her, because mind you, she's seen some Liz faces. But I haven't seen that from you. So that's probably one of the things that I'm gonna want to talk about later, because I want to know how you managed to do that.
Oh,
I don't know if it's a Gemini thing, but
I don't know. I mean, well, first of all, thank you. But yeah, like actually, it's really funny that you mentioned that. So one of the reasons why I would go to Meraki so much um was because like it was a place where I don't know, I would go when I was stressed.
Oh, interesting.
And I wanted to talk about something else, or I was having a bad day. Like I think, I would like a really stressful job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it was like very demanding, and it was so nice to be able to just like sit at the bar and talk to Liz. And even though I wouldn't necessarily like talk about my day necessarily all the time,
like
even
my life
like,
is, yeah,
even just like talking to Liz about her life or the other people at the bar at their life, when we get into these like really interesting conversations, and then it's like, wow, I feel so much better.
absolutely, yeah.
Okay, I can leave and I can get on with the rest of my day now. Like, okay, cool.
One of the coolest things that I love about Heather and I interactions behind the bar all the time was that I used to, obviously, there was people coming, going, sitting at the bar, right? And she would get there and I was like, please tell me what is happening today. What planet is where? Who is in retrograde? Because today is been a day, right? And she's like, oh, that's because so planet is here and you're transitioning into something. And I'm like, oh my God, that makes so much sense. It didn't, right? But the fact that I was being validated, that I wasn't like actually feeling, that I was actually feeling things in my body was so great to hear.
Yes.
Like an outside view that she's like, I'm feeling it because I know that it's like up here, right?
Yeah, like,
so
you're not crazy.
that is a very plus in this situation. So that's how we met. We continue to do classes together, trainings together. We actually have a small group of friends, of girlfriends, that we have taken trips with. That amazing ladies as well. Everyone is doing something. Everyone is in a different part of their life. We have mothers. We have uh, people that are divorced, people that are married, people every kind of walk of life.
Every walk of life.
Which is amazing.
Love it.
But we created this little small group that we take trips to, day trips, and Heather is part of the planner and I'm the one that drives, because at the end of the day, Liz is a control freak. But it's just the vibes. But yes, so we continue to kind of gravitate to each other, even when my path changed and I went somewhere else. Like, it's still kind of like the connection keeps happening.
Mm-hmm.
So one day I was teaching a class, a yoga class, and what did I say? Because
so it started like, so we were, we were texting. We were kind of just like about our brand, like her plant medicine and her teas, and my astrology, and we know other people who do other things like massage and sound healing, right? Like, and we were just talking one night. We were like, oh my God, like, what we do complements each other
very
so well.
Yes.
And so we were like, yeah, oh my God, okay, like, good night, we go to bed. And then, like, a few days later, she teaches an online Kundalini yoga class. And after the class, it's on the Sagittarius full moon, by the way, which is just like so appropriate. She's like, yeah, like, I was just thinking about, like, how, you were saying, like, we, like, our businesses complement each other, like, so well, like, and, I was kind of thinking, she's like, I'm ready to, like, put myself out there. And I was like,
I
actually,
did
I'm
say that.
thinking the same thing too. And, like, Sagittarius is all about, like, expansion and growing. And we're like, yeah, like, I think this could, like, she's like, maybe we should start a podcast. And I was like, oh, yes, like, lit up instantly. It felt very exciting. And then kind of that's the day that we started planning it.
Yeah. And it's, if you know something about me, or you will learn something about me, is that I don't say things if I don't feel them. If it doesn't feel right, I could be with the idea in my head for a long time, but I say it when it feels ready. So the fact that I said it and her reaction was very the same as how I was feeling, I was like, oh, this is going to be great. This is going to be amazing. So this is why we're here, guys. And I'm so grateful and blessed to be here with her, that I'm excited to see where this takes us. All of us.
All of us. Okay, so with that being said, we've told you who we are, but now we want to know who you are. We believe that everybody has a story, and you will be seeing us bring guests on here, some of our friends telling their stories, and maybe even you. So if you want to tell us either in the comments, or you want to shoot us an email at themysticandthemessenger@gmail.com, tell us, who are you in the quote unquote matrix, right? If that even exists, more to come. Who are you in your spiritual life? How did you get to where you are? Why is this important to you? Because we want to know. We want to know. We want to get to know you.
Absolutely. The biggest thing about us is that we love to hear everyone's story because for the longest time, both of us kind of minimize our stories, right? Our struggle wasn't as bad as the person next to us because we were doing okay. Like, how dare us complain about our life when the person next to us was doing worse, right? But that is not the point. Everyone has an experience, everyone is living life how to the best of our abilities. So, what makes your life yours? What is similar to ours? What have you done to be able to get this far? And what do you need help with? What can you benefit from listening to us, if anything, right? We'll next episode we'll talk more about the matrix, the real day-to-day life that we have going on, how it has um just molded you into who you are, and
And
maybe go
how
ahead.
you exist in it as a spiritual person.
Absolutely, because I think for us, we've broken that mold that we had to that people around us, right, have molded us into, but we're able to live in both worlds right now. As of today, as of right now,
Yeah.
we're able to live in both of us. Do we continue to experience new challenges every day? Do we
Absolutely.
do we learn new lessons every day? But here we are. We want to share them with you. We want to hear yours, and we're just very excited to see that none of us are alone.
None of us.
So, thank you so much for listening.
Thank you so much for listening to The Mystic and the Messenger.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Okay, we'll start again. Oh, we already have. Okay, even better.
So, hi, my name is Liz Mobrisi. Okay.
I think we need a t-shirt.
I know.
First piece of merch.
Tank top, please. So, a crop top certification.
Little fishy on it. There we go. Look at her guns.